You know what time it is?
Nova time. As you can see from the title of the video, we're working on the Nova. So I think the last video that we did on the Nova was from Hot August Nights 2021. Check it out right here. Don't check it out now. Check it out after this video.
You just picked my nose.
I did not pick your nose. So that's the last video we've had on this car, and you remember the throttle was being a pain. It's been a pain forever. So we took the thing back to West Tech, and it's fixed.
We found the problem.
We found the problem. So we'll explain that a little bit later in the video, and towards the end of the video, we'll do a test drive of the car and show you how it runs. Now that the throttle's fixed, I can tell you right now, the thing runs amazing.
It's full VTEC now.
So wait till later, and later on the video, and you will see us running it. So we recorded what we're about to show you about a month ago. What are you doing? Is this yoga class?
The way we lose the throttle, it would just go away. What we get? P0606. And then once you get that code, you lose all throttle. So it doesn't matter where you're at, it goes to idle.
So let's journey back in time, and we will show you the issue. We'll explain it all.
Wrong kind of back in time.
So
I had too many crayons today.
So I think you worked on too many Mazdas today.
Just out, I was just out the putting green, you know, just practicing my drive. No big here. Enjoying the day. A little random there, a little veering off course, no big deal.
I'm veering off the golf course.
Into the putting green.
So
into the pond, into the rough.
We're gonna describe in depth what the pedal did, you know, the issue with the pedal, and we were basically trying to find the issue at that time. We didn't know what it was, but we later found out in more current time right now what the issue was. So
what's the issue? Let's
go find out.
Oh.
One, I got sick. I probably sound a little different, but I'm getting better from my sickness.
Aww.
So
you're not down with the sickness anymore?
No, but by now I think I figured out where the pedal goes out at. You know how I said in a previous video that there's no rhyme or reason to it, but now I've figured out
that there's a rhyme?
There is a rhyme and there is a reason. No, there's not really a reason, but there's a rhyme to it. It plays a different rhythm. It plays the same rhythm every time.
We got a nice little shade tree going on today.
Yeah.
You can enjoy the great outdoors.
Get some fresh air.
Get rid of that sickness.
I don't want to be up and down with the sickness anymore. I don't want to get up and get down.
So we're going to put the 102, the bigger throttle body back on it with the little spacer, and then put the air filter piping back to the version 8.0 or whatever it is.
The previous version before that, it seemed to run its best at.
With the bigger throttle body.
With the bigger
the 102
aftermarket throttle body.
Right now it's got the stock GM, so it's a 90 millimeter. We're going to see if we can show you where the
pedal goes bad at.
The pedal goes stupid.
The pedal?
The pedal?
Did you say pedal?
The pedal.
Let's not waste no more time. Look at that. The engine didn't run away.
Still there. This is our throttle body. The 102 we're going to switch it back to. Then we're going to put our spacer back in here. I feel like I got a cast on. So that's what we're going to start with. We're going to take it off, see if we can show you the deal. Then we're going to check wiring. We're going to check resistance from here to the PCM. See what's going on with this thing.
Alright, so we got the air intake piping off of here, and now you can see the exposed throttle body. So what I've noticed, starting from dead stop, so idle's what, like 16% throttle on the throttle body here. So I've noticed on the pedal that I can only go to about 20-25% throttle, and then it'll give out. So the master mechanic is in the car right now. He's going to press on the throttle and check this out. Look what we discovered. That's it right there. That's all the throttle that we're getting before it goes out. When we were driving down the road, you know, you'd give it more gas because you're going up a hill or there's more load on the car and you need to give it more gas, and that's why it would go out. It's because you're trying to push it past 25% throttle and it's not letting you go past that. But something interesting that I found out is if you floor it fast enough past that bad spot and get it to 100%, you know, full throttle, then it stays wide open full throttle. But if you try and roll onto it, like we just showed, it shuts off. So the master mechanic is still in the car, and he's going to go from 0, you know, to full throttle as quick as he can, and we're gonna see what happens right here. All right, go for it. Okay, we think that the reason it's shutting off sitting here is because it's hot. You know, it's like we've said before, these throttle bodies get very hot from the factory or from the aftermarket. You know, they get hot underneath the engine bay sitting right here. But we think we think what happens when you go full throttle when you're driving is the air on the inside cools this throttle body and lets it stay wide open. And that's the only reason why you're able to stay wide open, because I know some of you guys that follow us on our Instagram or our Facebook, you would have seen a couple videos of us going wide open, and you might have been like, oh, did they fix the throttle? No, we haven't fixed the throttle. That's just because the throttle will let us go wide open, and that's our only guess as to why it will. So, and he's not letting off at all when it closes. It shuts itself off and then it snaps itself shut. So we're like right there, he had his foot down the whole time, and then it shut itself off and closed the throttle. So now that we have all this live data, Master Mechanic, what do you have in mind? What are we going to check?
So now that it's actually acting up and it's consistent, I want to take the harness, unplug it from the PCM, and then unplug it from the throttle body, and we're going to check the resistance. I want to check every wire and see what's going on if I have one that's high resistance and causing it to do that. Because you know, if the resistance goes up in a wire, then you have less voltage there. You can't put it through to make it function like it's supposed to be functioning. So we're going to see if we got a bad connection or something somewhere that's causing it, because it's really stupid.
Because this is pretty much our only option at this point, right? We've fixed everything else.
We changed the PCM. This is the second PCM. We tried a couple different throttle bodies. I don't know if it's the second or third throttle body. This is a third, because we tried one at West Tech, this one, and then the one that comes on. So this is a third throttle body we tried. So this is actual readings of what's going on with the engine. So right now the pedal's at 0%. The throttle position, so the throttle body is at 22. That's only because it's not running right now. It's open a little bit more at a rest until you go to start it, and then it closes down. So you can see I'll slowly push on the throttle pedal, and as it starts to come up, you see at 29% is when I lost the pedal. So this is how the time it took before it dropped. And then you can see the throttle body was at 22%. It's a little bit behind. No, it went to 36%. It's a little different. They're not exact until it gets up there, because it starts out at not at 0. So the throttle position on the throttle body is a little bit more than the actual pedal.
So this is the code it's given us. I tried to show it before, but I was horrible at showing it. So it's P0606, Control Module Internal Performance. Have you seen that code before on any other car?
No, I never seen it. No, it's not a common deal. I've never seen that code before. It was definitely something stupid.
So every time that code comes up, you know, obviously it shuts off the throttle body, and then we have to clear the code. That's why we need the scan tool to drive around.
So now we have it at 0 again. So now the pedal works until it gets to that same spot.
Until it gets to 20, 28, 29%.
See, the time wasn't that long as I pushed on it faster. It's getting old, so we're gonna fix it now.
Yeah, it's getting very old.
Let's get to the bottom of this nonsense.
Give us 12 seconds and we'll figure this out.
12 seconds later.
So it's been 12 seconds. We got the throttle body switched back over and the spacer in here and everything. But we did all of our testing. We checked the harness, the resistance. All the resistance is good. What it looks like the problem is there's an internal issue with the microprocessor, the second version of the PCM number 2. It definitely seems like there's a problem with the PCM, because the time of checking the harness and changing the throttle body back and all that, it seems like it had time to cool off, because now it works every time. It doesn't stop working. The gas pedal, even when we do it slow or fast, it's been working every time. So while we're at it though, we fixed a couple other things. We had this one wire, we're up at West Tech, it wasn't charging, and we had some stuff in the wrong spot, the way the harness came and everything. The one was in question if it was needed, so it was left out. We kept getting a code for the generator L circuit. The one that was out actually needed to be swapped with these two. So we took care of that. No more generator L circuit problem. Gotta get the bugs out of it. So Monday we're calling the PCM, and we'll keep plugging along. We'll get this thing straightened out. So now that you're a little more up to speed, the problem that we're having after finding that out, and we checked the resistance from the harness, or from the throttle body here to the PCM, resistance, everything was good. So we know it's not wiring. The only thing it could be is the actual throttle body itself or the PCM. And the PCM is the one we got from PSI, Performance System Integration, which are a great bunch of people. So I contacted them and told them what I had going on. And he told me that normally when you have that code, your PCM is bad. The driver for the pedal in the PCM is bad. But in this case, because that PCM we got from them, it was a known good. He said that somebody changed the mapping on the table, on the pedal table, or the programming I should say, on the pedal table for the driver at some point. The only point is when we took it to West Tech, and then I called them, they said they didn't change it. Of course, you know, they said that they never changed it. Somebody changed it. So we drove the car back up to West Tech and checked it from what it is when we got there, from what it was when we initially went there with this PCM, and it was crazy because it was only off like 2 numbers. So originally the PSI had it, so it had it at the throttle closed was 1. So their closed is 1%, and then their wide open is 99%. And then somebody, which I'm assuming Westech, because there's only other people, changed it to 0 was closed, so it would suck it all the way, and then 100% is open. PCM didn't like that, changing in the programming, and that's what kept having us lose the pedal. The code would come up, we lose the pedal, and that's what caused the whole issue. So we changed it back to what it was initially when we bought the PCM. We went there the first time to tune it. So we drove around up by Westech around there, trying to get it to act up. Everything was great. And we drove it back, which is around 90 miles. The whole freeway, you know, on and off the gas. Not one problem until we're like a mile from being back. Turn the corner, close the throttle, and it said P1516, which is the throttle actuator control module, then a P2119, which is a throttle close position. It's pretty much saying that it didn't close fast enough. The position was wrong. It didn't move fast enough, so it was a 2 code. So now it looks like there's a problem with this throttle body. It's not moving as fast as it desired to move, and then it's not going closed in a quick amount of time. If you look up the code description, it says like 0.5 millisecond or something. It wants it to move quick. So that's the only problem we're having now, is it seems like the throttle body. But other than that, the thing runs like a champ. You roll into it, I mean, you don't even need 6 gears going down the freeway. 5th gear, you're doing like 80, 85s, like 2,500 RPMs. So you put it in 6, if you're not doing over like 90, you're not even in the power. It's under 2,000. The engine's like bogged down. So I wish I would have known that the small changes in the throttle table was going to fix it and it was going to run so good. We would have recorded it, you know, going up and coming back. And it's a shame that we didn't know. Right? We're so frustrated with the whole pedal deal. We're just trying to figure out what it was, and we just went up. Initially, we're going up there. We're going to drop it off to them. Yeah. They wanted to have it for a while, and they were going to try to figure it out. When we were there, I was talking with the guy, the Westech man himself, and he was talking about ordering another PCM, and maybe it is. And then I mentioned about the table, and he looked, and he's like, "Man, it's only a couple numbers." He's like, "Well, let's try it." And
sure enough,
man, it's crazy. It worked, yeah.
Okay, so I hope all of that throttle mumbo jumbo made any sense. If it didn't, go back and rewatch it, because it's probably the last time we're going to say anything about that throttle.
It doesn't make any sense to me either.
It was kind of really weird, kind of a random situation. But before we go and drive the car, we are going to put the block-off plate in. Show them, Master Mechanic.
That's the ugly side, though. Look at the nice
Yeah,
side.
look at this nice side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we peeled the plastic off of it. It's nice and black. Look at that. Let's get with the Master Mechanic. Get a closer Let's get with the Master Mechanic. Let's get a closer look at this before we put it in. Check it out.
So we got the block-off plate here all cut out. So this is the one that has a black finish on it. So the black finish we're going to put to the trunk side. So when you pop the trunk, it looks nice and finished. And then the inside part is going to be white, because we're going to cover it with the sound deadening. So sound deadening, back seat, so you're not going to see the white at all. And then when you pop the trunk, it'll have a nice black finish around. We're going to pop rivet it in. Right now I'm going to drill where I'm going to mount it, where the pop rivets are going to be. I want to have them pretty much evenly spaced out. We're going to put the panel in it, and then we're going to back drill it from the trunk into the panel instead of trying to line everything up and measure it. I think that'd be easier way and quicker to do it that way. So I got all my coordinates set up here on my GPS. I had to get the battery out of the way, so I'm able to drill this hole here. This one down here on the bottom, I wanted to go lower, so I did a little GPS coordinates here. I did a little measurement off of here and up here, so I can drill this one after the fact. But I got 4 across the top, one here, one here. How about I just drill them? How about I drill them, and you can see. So I got all my holes drilled here, where I'm going to mount it. I got 4 across the top. I got 2 on the sides. I'm going to put the panel in here. And then my trusty assistant is going to hold it, and I'm going to drill like probably these 2 here. And then we'll pop rivet those ones, hold it in place. Then I could drill the rest of them, and I know the panel's not going to move. No more race car talk. A back seat, street car talk. Street car. So we got the panel in here. You can see it's still rattly. That's why we're gonna sound deaden it. Because if you remember, the braces go at an angle, so there's nothing in the middle here that we can go to. And if we put holes on the bottom here, we'll have it poking through underneath the car, and we'll be adding holes that we filled in. So we don't want to add any more holes. So I'm gonna roll the sound deadening from the top. We're gonna come down, and we're gonna push it on. You know, we're gonna roll it on tight, and then we're gonna push this to the floor here, and hold this. Put some mass to it, so it keeps the rattling down. So we got it on. We got our sound deadening here. So I'm gonna start up against this tub on this side. And I'm just gonna come down, I'm gonna roll it down straight, so it's gonna look about like so. So we're gonna get it up here, we're gonna get it straightened out. I'm gonna overlap this tub a little bit because I wanna roll it up the side to take care of any of this little gap here. There's a little bit you can see from the trunk. You can see that we're just gonna roll it over for right now because I wanna sound deaden the top. And then after we get this on here, I'm gonna put an aluminum, a panel like this, but with the black side up. I'm gonna put it over the top here, but I'm gonna have to drill it from the bottom. And then I'm just gonna have to bolt it in because I can't get in here with a rivet gun because of the back window. That's why we're starting out on top here. We want to cover up all these big holes. There's no sense of sound deadening in this and then have these big old holes up here. So sit back, get your popcorn, whatever, your jelly beans. Let's get this on here.
It has been a long time kicking around putting in the block elf plate in the Nova, but it is finally done. It looks pretty dang solid, especially from the trunk. It looks really nice with the black finish on the one side. Check this out, it sounds way quieter. You tell it is way more not rattly anymore. Way more not rattly, yeah, that totally makes sense. It's solid all the way around. See that? All the way. Very nice. Let's go and drive it, man. Way quieter. Sticker.
It's dying.
First impressions, way quieter in here. Way quieter. You can probably tell by how loud I'm talking right now. As you can see, we got a nice driver's mirror right here. Might need to be adjusted a little bit, but makes it look more complete.
We're going for this side too, but I don't know if we can put it on yet. Still debating it.
So we still have to drive with the scan tool because we think the throttle body's going bad, and that's what's throwing the code to shut off the throttle still. But you can go all the way. You have full range of the throttle now. You can actually drive the car. I've only had the throttle shut off on me twice. I don't think it's very likely that it'll shut off. Let's drive this and we can try and show you the full range of the throttle here. Let's do a little roll on the freeway here. No issue getting the speed. That's no issue.
Oh,
you hear the air.
Yeah, the throttle.
It whistles. If you're in the right spot, it whistles. This thing actually drives like it should now. You can just push on the throttle and you can just go. If you don't want to go, you just let off and you cruise. Impressions? What do you think?
I'm blown away. I'm scared to death of all the tornadoes.
What are your guys' impressions? What do you think, huh? Getting that throttle fixed was a big hurdle. I can't believe it was something so simple. It's unreal. You know, sometimes you're digging, thinking it's something deeper, and it's just right there on the surface all along.
sit in the back seat. I like it. It's coming together.
It's almost there, man. It's almost there.
Okay, before we finish the video, I want to do one thing, and that is look at the list. We haven't looked at this list in a long time.
So we got a cherry picker on our way, but we're gonna push past. We're gonna look. So right here, we got block off plate, rebuild interior and 2 doors, and then package tray. That's all we have left on this whole thing. So obviously we just did the block off plate. So I'm gonna cross this off. That's all we got to cross off. We got 2 more things. Rebuild interior and the 2 doors, and then the package tray panel that we were talking about earlier in the video. That's all that's left.
Except for parts of the AC and a little bit other picky things that we're gonna all encompass in the next video. And you know, it's crazy. I think there's only 1 or 2 more videos on the Nova. So we're gonna try and end this out with a bang, and we'll give you guys our full breakdown review on the build, you know, what we think of the car. I mean, you could probably get an idea of what we think of it right now, but we'll give you a more in-depth thought process of what we think of the whole build. So anyways, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button down below, share it around if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys on the next one.